happy holidays. I'm gonna go ahead and say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Back here in Albuquerque after spending a month off, and the weather is kind of warm. It's about 50 degrees right now, which is nice and enjoyable. And since there's no wind, I came out to work on the Mooney Mustang M22, which you've probably been waiting for an update or for me to do something. Well, here I am again. So let's take a look. So first things first, I've been busy with the panel. I've been making progress, as you can see. A lot of stuff has come out of it. Almost everything, actually. And you can also see I've been working on the gauges, on the fuel gauges, which I'm probably going to replace with some kind of electric modern fuel gauge. I think they're magnetic or something. CIES is the brand, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look into my options. But these are senders that are float-based, and one of them is here in the wing, underneath here, and the other one is over here. So this is the outboard. This is the inboard. There's two on each side, and they both create a resistance depending on whether they're full or not, or indicating high or not. And the delta between that resistance, I believe, is interpreted by the gauge. The gauge, do I have one? Well, I have one there for sure. And then that gauge interprets. Anyway, so those are going to go. Then the other thing I'm going to show you, I might as well show you what I've removed. So what I removed here from the panel, more stuff. Oh yeah, here's a fuel gauge. We'll do it this way so you can see better. This is an authentic Mooney one. Now the gauges are working. It's really something to do with the wiring or the sender. But since I'm going to go with a magnetic type, I don't see any point in me really spending too much time trying to figure these out. Here's the altimeter, the speedometer, fuel flow. Never really figured out how to make this work. I don't know if this works or not. But remember, if you're interested in any of this, let me know. And then this attitude indicator doesn't work. And it's pretty bulky, actually. And then we have the vertical speed indicator, and that worked. So everything worked except for these two items. And the fuel gauge works, but somewhere along the line, there's an interruption of service. So we'll have to figure that one. Oh, what's this over here? Let's figure out what this is. Oh, yeah. And this is a glide slope, GPS navigate. What is this called? Exactly. This is a King radio. You can see here, King radio. What model number? KNI 520? Yeah. Anyway, don't know if I'll have a use for that once we're done modernizing this. But yeah, you can see it's getting pretty interesting. Completely removed everything here except for the autopilot, and we're about to get into that. And then over there you can see the panel. There's still the turn coordinator, which is still there because a lot of you reacted to my previous video where I was talking about going experimental and getting rid of the autopilot and all the rest of it. And a lot of you said, oh no, you should keep it and blah, blah, and just get it working and this and that. And so I hesitated in removing it, left it in place. And so there's a couple of, there's the basically the controller that's here. And then there's the turn coordinator, which works in combination with this. I'm going to give you an update on what we're going to do about that. So I'm looking for my flashlight because I want to show you guys the autopilot, actually the servos. And I keep, now I know what that was there. All right. And I need the flashlight. So I know I left it in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Here is the flashlight. All right. While we're in here, look at that. nest of cables and wires that the avionics shop is going to have to help me with. I'm not doing all of this by myself. I'm doing removal and labeling. As you can see, I've been labeling stuff. I didn't film everything I was doing because some of it's tedious to film in tight spaces. But basically, I've been removing instruments as we go, uncoupling tubes, and haven't gotten around to the Autopilot turn coordinator, which drives the Autopilot. You can see there's a bunch of tubes coming out the back of it with this vacuum-based system on the Autopilot. But this is part of what I'm going to remove. There's this also, which is a radar altimeter. Not sure if I'm keeping that. I haven't decided yet. So what I thought was interesting is that this panel is actually on rubber grommets. You can see here, there's 4 attach points. One here, one further down. Same on this side. And up here, it's the same thing. There's 2 tabs that it ties into, and these are also on gaskets, rubber. And presumably that was so that there was less vibration transmitted to the instruments. If you started the engine, maybe this helped dampen the vibration. So whatever they had over here on the right wasn't considered as vibration sensitive, but obviously the vacuum-driven instruments were considered, or gyroscopic probably, were considered sensitive, and they had it on a sort of a suspension system. Let me know what other airplanes have this. So here's where the servos are for the Autopilot. And you can see some other boxes here, which are controllers for the vacuum system. And you can see some vacuum tubing. Also up here, you can see that there's this magnometer, a huge one. They obviously make them a lot smaller now. And for the rudder, there's a set of 2 pairs. So obviously they felt necessary that the rudder have 2 pairs of servos, whereas the elevator only has 1 pair of servos. Let me try and see if I can show you that. So this is a couple, there's 2 servos on this side, 2 servos on this side attaching to the rudder, you see here. And then back here, there's just 1 control arm attached, and this is for the elevator. And so these 2 play a tug of war and pull on the elevator, and you can see it move right here. And so we want to remove all that, and then without it, we have an airplane, like many airplanes out there, that simply won't have an autopilot. And you can see over here, here's another contraption. Is it here? Can't really see it. Oh, here it is. Here's the balloon that pulls on a chain that's linked to the ailerons. So here's some more stuff that we need to remove. And you can see it, some stuff here as well. But we'll get into that more specifically. So, I'm not just going to start taking stuff off nilly-willy. So what I did is I went on to ChatGPT, or you can choose any AI for that matter. And at the fingertip, you have all this wealth of information. And so what I did is I asked ChatGPT to put together a checklist. But since I don't trust AI quite yet, because there are cases where it hallucinates, I sent this to my AMPIA, and I had him look at it and tell me if he thought this was a good checklist to follow. And he confirmed that it was. So I'm going to get started on doing this stuff and checking it off, and then I'll have him inspect it and sign off on the work. So that's the plan. I'll have another video out for you shortly, so please click and subscribe.